So we want to go back to Dan Haggerty and Travis Fain. They have been keeping tabs on the balance of power in both the General Assembly and Congress. Guys?
Well, we know that the Republicans reached their supermajority goals in the state Senate, and it appears they are going to come very, very close in the House. You see the Senate behind us here. They were able to pick up the 2 seats that they needed there for the supermajority. In the House, they needed 3 seats for the full supermajority. Travis, take it away from here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to fall 1 short of that, according to Paul Spey, who you may recognize as the PolitiFact reporter here at WRAL.
One second, I'm going to interrupt you. We have Bo Hines, who is going to be giving his concession speech, I imagine, at this time. Let's listen in.
First and foremost, I want to thank my wife for volunteering her time for the last 2 years. I want to thank my family for all their hard efforts, and I want to thank our donors for everything they've done for us. I want to thank you guys that were knocking doors every single day, working your tails off. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I really do. You know, this is just the beginning. You know, we're still in a fight for this country, and I'm going to continue working my tail off to make sure that we're fighting for conservative values here in the state of North Carolina. I'm confident that conservative values will prevail in this country, not only here in this state, but across the entire nation. And I just can't. I really can't emphasize enough how thankful I am for you guys. How thankful I am for this community for welcoming me back into it from the time I lived in Wake County. Can't thank Johnston County enough and all the folks there. And I love you guys. I really do. I can't tell you how much I love you. And I appreciate you throwing your support behind me. If I look at these volunteers in the crowd, and the amount of work you guys have done is just unbelievable. And, once again, I want to congratulate Wiley Nickel. I pray that God's with him in his leadership. I'll be praying for him every single day. And I hope he loves this community as much as I do, because I love you guys. I really do.
Thank you, Bo.
Absolutely.
And that is the Republican Bo Hines conceding this race to Wiley Nickel. He will not be going to Congress. I was just talking to Travis. Can we bring Travis back up here so that we can talk to you about this district, because it will only be in existence for about 2 years, Travis?
Yeah, so this was drawn in redistricting, which usually happens once a decade after a census, except in North Carolina and a number of other states where we just fight over it constantly. We expect this district, other North Carolina congressional districts, to be redrawn before the next election, before 2024. So when Wiley Nickel is running for re-election, it will be a different looking seat, and different voters, different mix of Democrats and Republicans, and who knows how long he'll be able to hold that seat, but it will be difficult. It will certainly be redrawn and probably less friendly to Democrats. One of the things that could be important there's a major Supreme Court case, the U.S. Supreme Court, about redistricting. I don't want to get too far into it, but we've also seen Republicans winning state Supreme Court seats tonight, flipping that from a 4-3 Democratic majority to what looks like it's going to be a Republican majority in the state Supreme Court. Who hears lawsuits about things? Supreme Courts.
There you have it. I mean, the new district, it might be short-lived, but for now, Wiley Nickel is the candidate who was chosen by the people who live within the lines you see behind us here.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. We want to go back to Ted Budd's campaign. We're expecting him to give a victory speech at any moment to his supporters. Mark Robinson, Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, is speaking right now to the audience. Of course, he is there along with several other heavyweight Republican political figures there with Ted Budd in Winston-Salem. We can listen to him for a minute here.
And that starts by sending a man named Ted Budd to the Senate to reverse the trends of the Biden administration and once again make this nation proud and set her back on the right path. So I couldn't be prouder tonight of the people of this state. We got it right, and that is why I love North Carolina. God bless you all. We'll see you soon. Thank y'all.
And that is the Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. He has been campaigning for several different Republicans across the state. And we are still waiting for Ted Budd to come up and give his victory speech. So we will continue to listen in.
Let's go back to Dan and Travis. You guys weren't quite finished with what you wanted to get across to us.
We were talking about the balance of power and how the supermajority that the Republicans were looking to get had to happen in both the Senate and the House. They needed 2 seats in the Senate, which they did get. They needed 3 in the House, and they ended up getting, it looks like they'll end up getting 2 tonight, not 3.
Yeah, it looks like they fell just short. And, you know, look, you can pick out a district here, a district there, but I think the one I'm going to focus on is in Cabarrus County. It was a redrawn district. It was once held by probably the furthest right member of the North Carolina House, has now been won by Democrat. Lines are a little bit different, but that kind of seems to have made the difference here tonight. But it's not really over. So the way the supermajority works is, in order to overturn a veto, you have to have 3/5 of all members present and voting backing you. So if everybody's there, you got to have 72. If 1 or 2 people are gone,
right,
you can overturn the governor's veto with 71. So attendance about to be real important in the North Carolina General Assembly, because if enough Democrats are gone on a given day, Republicans can vote through, overturn the governor's vetoes on any number of issues, abortion, education funding. We've talked about the various issues tonight.
And you know, all of these candidates, we separate them in blue and red, but they do vary on that scale. I mean, there are people who lean more moderate viewpoints on both sides, but Republicans, all they need to do to really make things happen is to convince one person from the Democratic side to either vote with them or just not be there.
Right, and on a budget bill, I mean, if there's $100 million that they want to spend in your district, how do you back the governor's veto of a Republican budget? On abortion, there's a representative named Garland Pierce. He's from Scotland County. He is one of the few Democrats, perhaps the only Democrat that's in the legislature right now, who has voted to go along with some Republican abortion measures. So when abortion comes out, there is going to be immense pressure on this one Democrat from Scotland County. Will he back the Republican side? Will he back the Democratic side? So it's not quite as simple. 72 is an important number, but 71 is a big number for Republicans too.
Mark Boyle in the Live Center. No supermajority in both the House and Senate from Republicans, but there is some benefits to getting close.
Yeah, there absolutely is. And Governor Roy Cooper just chiming in on the topic you and Travis have been talking about. Dan, let's take a look at this tweet. This coming out at 11:33, so about 10 minutes ago. Governor Cooper saying, "We stopped a GOP supermajority tonight when North Carolinians voted for balance and progress. I'll continue to work with this legislature to support a growing economy, more clean energy, better health care, and strong public schools." So the governor talking about this will certainly keep you up to date as these new details come in. This is something a lot of people have been looking at very closely tonight, but it looks like the supermajority there is the key topic that the governor is tweeting about here late in this evening, guys.